Hello. I'm going to be recording a Dragons of Tarkir draft right from our testing hotel situation over here in, I was going to say sunny, but we're in non-coastal Europe, so cloudy and gray Brussels, which is actually quite a nice city. Do not mind being here at all. So kind of walking through the changes that Dragons of Tarkir has brought to the format. It's no longer a stally defensive format. It's lower to the ground. A lot of things trade, but obviously there's dragons at the top end. So you do have to play a full range game, but if you stumble early, it can be kind of difficult to pull out from being behind. So, continuing with our team's lovely opens on Magic Online drafts this trip. I have a Sarkhan Unbroken. So when I arrived, I found Brad with a foil Monastery Mentor in his deck. I then opened a Monastery Mentor in my deck later. Brad opened a Whisperwood last night, and I opened this guy today. So yeah, that's a pretty good trend. So with this card, I actually have had the pleasure of drafting this card in a test draft before. I think the plan with this card is to take it, figure out which two of the colors are open, and then take the lands and Fate Reforged or Evolving Wilds in this pack to support it. Next best card in the pack is probably Ukud Cobra, and then there's Sandcrafter Mage, which are both great. Silumgar Butcher's fine. It's a lot worse than I think people thought at first. It's not a Shriekmaw. This is definitely not a Shriekmaw because you usually have to sacrifice a relevant body. I'm not sure what it's going to wheel. I guess I'll just kind of see. It's like 3 black, 4 black cards, 2 blue. I should have done the count a little faster. I'm going to take this rare too. I haven't cast it. It seems very good. I think 2 power flyer for 2 is very powerful. And the Megamorph is also very powerful. It's very similar to Misthoof Kieran, at least with the bonus negate. I think Deathwind is the best card in the pack, but since I first picked Sarkhan, it looks like there's an uncommon taken here. I'd have to think about the uncommons real fast. It's probably like Ultimate Price or something. But I think I'd rather take this to try and stay on color with my first pick. Because this card is just so good. There's 3 blue, 2 red, 2 white, 2 green, 2 black, and Evolving Wilds. I've been starting to like count the colors of cards so I can see on the wheel what's open. This pack is pretty mediocre. Rare and a common missing. Sign of Ugin might be the best card, but I kind of want to stake my claim with the right card. I'm going to stick with the lore drop, even though I think this card's actually quite powerful. I'd rather just fill out the low curve first, because I think the high drops are somewhat interchangeable. I think the most powerful card's probably Scion, but that's fine. I can ignore that to draft around Sarkhan. Wish I'd opened a card that gave me more decisions. Oh, yep, I'm going to take the, so there's still flattened in this pack, so it looks like black's going to be reasonably open this draft. There's also a pacifism, jeez. I'm going to take Draconic Roar. Though I guess there's been a rare and 2 uncommons taken from this pack, so I can't really learn anything. I'm going to take the other uncommon. Atarka Freet's also probably the next best card in the pack for us. Next best card overall is definitely Flatten. I think this is better than Pacifism. I think that there's enough ways to enough cards that are playable main deck that disenchant or exploit that Pacifism loses a little ground relative to just killing their thing, especially at instant speed, because this can like re-up on a combat trick. Like they try to trick to win a combat and use 2 for 1 but if these weren't here, I'd probably take the Flatten, I guess. But Atarka Freet's also very good here. In terms of green, there was just the morph, the Megamorph, the Guardian Shield Bearers that adds the 2/1 that adds a counter when it flips, which is fine. Ooh. So Stampeding Elkherd is. So I'm going to talk about the overall power of cards. So Sunstriker is probably the best card in the pack. It's basically like a 3-mana 2 power flyer that you can Megamorph into a 4 power flyer, which is great. And then it can get bigger, but I think Kolaghan Frontrunner or Forerunner is the card that I'm taking is the next best card in the pack. So one of the things about this format is a lot of the early cards trade, but this card being an X3 doesn't, and it often pushes up into the dragon sizes of like X4 power. So I'm taking this. The other red cards make me think that red is open, which is great. This card being here, not really a huge sign. It's a very powerful green card. And this card, white's probably open if this is here, because it's probably one of the best white commons. Another War Brute. One of them might wheel. I don't think people have quite caught on to that card being quite as powerful as I think it is yet. Okay. Well, I'm going to take this other red card this pack. Uh, this guy's actually really good. Like, a lot of people just kind of look at this card and they're like, yeah, it's a 4 mana 4/2. Like, that's the first impression you have of this card, because 4 mana 4/2 is usually pretty bad. But it has first strike the majority of the time because of the formidable ability. Just be aware that if they remove your creature in response to formidable ability, that is an intervening if clause, so it loses the first strike. So there are situations where you can attack with this thinking it's a 4/2 first strike and get blown out. Next best card in this pack is, well, this is a 2-drop that's reasonably powerful, even though X1s are kind of punished in this format. But the next best card for us would be the Pinion Feast, I think. We're still not committed to blue or anything over the red. I'm just going to take the 4/3. 4/3's Summit Prowler is actually more reasonable now, because there's a lot of 2-power creatures that are running around instead of... It used to be 5 toughness is like the kind of benchmark, but now it's kind of like 2/2. This card trumps them. I'm okay with passing all these white cards. I think I just want to take this. I think I'm going to be green-red base. Maybe I do want to... I'd rather just stay red, though. Stay the course. There were the 2 green... Oh, wow, that card's in my deck. Anyways, last pack, there were the 2 3-drops in green, the Megamorph and the 2/4, neither of which is super exciting, and I just like the big red creature. I think that it also opens me up to a better Teamer Battle Rage deck, pack 3. This card is great. It's just instant speed. Well, to put it bluntly, Brad said that he thought this card was almost unbeatable, and he didn't know it was an instant at first. So this is like a huge combat trick that sticks around and leaves a bunch of counters on whatever creature, and whatever creature's like even if it's like a 2/1, it's just now a 6/5, which is massive in this format. There's not really a lot of things that are 5s. This card wheeling is absurd. I'm going to take the Tigum Strike over the Magmatic Chasm, I think. I'm just going to ignore that white's open. This card, I think I'm better off committing to this card. But I think Tigum Strike is better. I think it does a little more damage. Like, Chasm's a one-shot, a bunch of damage. But I think that Tigum Strike is pretty powerful, especially in this, because, like, it's going to target a 4-power guy, like, twice or whatever, deal a bunch. I actually really... Wow, the white is just straight up open. I'm going to get past the Citadel Siege in pack 3 and hate everything I'm doing. I'm going to take this card. I actually really like it. So, like, a lot of people think of this as a Trumpet Blast, but it's also very good with large creatures because of the trample. Like, very, very good. It's a lot closer to Overrun than it looks. Having a way to kill a Mythic Dragon is very important. Much more important than the 1-mana combat trick of Kindled Fury. That's like, my big gripe about the format is that the 5 Mythic Dragons are just like, every other card in the format is sized with this, like, specific, ooh, I'll take a 2-drop. It's a pretty good one, too. If it was white, my deck would be unbeatable. Anyways, enough of that. But the format's really sized with, X4 being this kind of wall and X5 being kind of exceptional. There's not, like, a lot of great X5s at, like, lower costs. Aside from the Mythic Dragons, which are just like... Okay. Aside from the Dragons, which are just off the charts insane and, like, miserable to play against and unbeatable. And this card's one of the few ways in this color combination to kill them. It looks like... With these cards, it looks like I'm splash green, but I didn't really get a lot of blue. This is a card that some of my teammates are really high on, but I'm not sure. Epic Confrontation is probably the best card in this pack. Though I think... I didn't really get a lot of blue, though. Trying to figure out if I want to take a green card here and kind of commit to taking green cards in pack 3, or if I just want to take the right card and go with that. This is a pretty reasonable card. It's like one of the few morphs that's con-sizing, or megamorphs in this format that's con-sizing. Like, flips at a reasonable cost into a very large, like 5 power creature. But Epic Confrontation is a very good removal spell. I really did not see a lot of blue. I'm going to take this card. I actually haven't tried it, though. I know how good Epic Confrontation is. And the answer is very. Well, I'm presented with the same pick. Think I'm going to make the same pick? Probably going to regret passing multiple confrontations. I have a feeling Tigum Strike is going to end up in my sideboard, especially if I'm base green-red. It would be so good with white cards. Probably should just abandon ship. Yeah, so here I'm going to take the green card. This 2-drop's actually pretty reasonable. Not a lot actually attacks into it is a really great part about this card. Because everything's kind of 2/2, right? Because like the 2-drops are all 2-power creatures. The 3-drops are all Megamorphs that are 2-power creatures. And this is just a 3/3. Like, that is quite good. I don't mind this on the splash. It's a pretty powerful splash Megamorph. Pinion Feast might actually be main deck. It's kind of a huge blowout most of the time. Like whenever it hits anything and then like the bolster too is just so huge. Well, pass 2 of this card and I get a chance at a third. It's basically Savage Punch that's always ferocious. Not much else to the card. Pretty simple and straightforward. I don't have any dragons revealed to this, but that's fine. Just 2 mana, 3 damage to a creature would be playable. This many 5-drop tricks is kind of worrisome. Probably not going to play at least one of them. Not sure which, though. So the thing I do like about this deck so far is that pack 3, one of the benefits of being red, is that you have multiple common 2-drops. Even if Smoldering Fleet's kind of crappy. So usually I think you can fill out the 2 slot, though I did say that last night when I was drafting black-red, and it did not end up well. Yeah, white's going back the other way too. Sure, I'm going to take this. Just the ability to have there's a marginal playable in this card, but this is a very powerful sideboard card, and when it's going to be good, it's going to be like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Whereas this card is going to be like maybe my 23rd card at best. So I'd rather have like a great card in 50% of my matches than like mediocre card in all of them. This card might actually be reasonable to play. Yep, I'm going to take a green 2-drop here. That's a good card. This is not a Seismic Rupture deck, though I think this card's quite good. It might be a Seismic Rupture deck, actually. I think I just want the 2-drop, though. I think this 2-drop especially is great. All the green 2-drops are great. The Megamorph's great. This card's great. The 3/3 is great. But I don't think I want to be Seismic Rupturing. I mean, I might, but I'd rather just play a 2-drop. 2-drops can attack. Cool. Cheaper trick. I think a lot of the tricks are pretty interchangeable. Like this, all really do the same thing. This is like super powerful. Like the best tricks are great, but like a lot of the average tricks are all about the same, like this and Tread Upon and all that stuff. So this will just end up in the deck. There's still a Zephyr Scribe, but whatever. I do need to find at least 2 blue fixers. It's kind of convenient. It's the one thing. Ooh, that's a 2-drop. I think that's better than Viola Dragonfire. So the convenient thing about this card is that green is still pretty bad in pack 3. So there's less scenarios where you're like, oh man, there's a great green card, but I have to take this land. It's just like, no, my picks are pretty reasonably spread out. And red is like a lot of interchangeable cards in the last pack too. So that turned out pretty well. Just like finding the fix. Literally Savage Punch. That's always ferocious. Savage Punch was one of the best commons in the last set. Yeah, Moto Dress before the set comes out, IRL are a little wonky at times. This card is great. Or not before it comes out IRL, before it comes out for full release are a little wonky. This card is actually very good. Very often, like it's very easy to just have Ferocious. So it's actually just a 3-2 regenerate. And if everything in the format trades, you can't trade for this card. Feels like a lot less white cards are coming around. I'm just gonna... I'll take a Warbrute, I guess. I could KO this card, but... I think that Warbrute's actually a good card. The dash ability on that card is very powerful. Center Soul's also just a very powerful card. Oh. This card's actually reasonable. I don't really have anything super expensive to cast with it. I kind of don't like it on my mana, but... It is a 2-4 in a format of 2-2s. I guess I do have things to cast with it. Like I can dash Warbrute out and then do something else. Yeah, that's technically playable. Not great. Like 4 mana 3-2 is not good sizing, but there's a lot of things you can do with it with bolster or other stuff. I guess I do have all these 5-drop tricks, so this card can be casting those and I can do other stuff. So ideally, so looking at this deck, with my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-ish creatures, I'm looking for 2 blue lands. This card actually got way worse for the record. It's so there's not a lot of ferocious creatures in the format, like even in this deck. A lot of the time, if you have that many creatures, you actually just win the game in this format instead of it being a stall. So it's a lot more like a 5-mana divination than anything else. I am actually between the Return to the Earth and the 2-drop here, and I think I want the 2-drop because I already have Opinion Feast. The Return to the Earth is very good. Again, killing the big dragons is important, and even killing the small ones too. But like also killing pacifism is pretty huge. Ambush is a splash card I wouldn't want to splash for, so I think I'm going to take the red 2-drop. As crappy as that sounds. You don't want to take this and splash it. Frontier Siege is not a very good card, though it is a combo with Sarkhan. You fight and then you put it on fight mode and then you make a dragon and you fight. So I'm debating between the Trample Trick and the Vault Breaker. I think Vault Breaker's... It's gotten worse because it trades a lot more. Like this 2 matters a lot more, but there's less Barrage of Boulders. I think it's powerful enough just to take. The Trample Trick is nice in my deck. The problem is that people are going to be playing around that card because that's just how they... I'm going to take Vault Breaker. Pretty sure that's wrong, though, actually, now that I think about it. Well, that's a great card. Welcome to New Fate Reforged, where sometimes first pickable rares just go around the table. Yeah, in case you haven't played with that card, it's just like massive creature for very little mana. Still haven't seen the land I needed, which is kind of awkward. Take a dash creature. My mana is kind of atrocious right now. I'd rather have that than the 5 drop, because I already have two 5/4s for 5. They're basically the same thing. Well, gonna take a bathe. Card's top-notch removal. I guess. So I could take an Inoc Guide, or I'm gonna take the bathe. I think it's just too good. I'm willing to pass up on the opportunity to have like the Nut Splash Sarkhan for that. Just like if I lose these two cards, I guess it's like I'd need another fixer on top of the map or the Inoc God there to make it worth it. I think Frontier Mastodon's actually very good in my deck, and I think I'm not really a collateral damage deck because all my creatures are just so beefy. I'd rather just play good cards. Should play around this Channel Hermit or this Will of the Naga. Past two Will of the Nagas. Oh, wrong one. Not blue. Still going to take it over the Mathaways. I think that this Sarkhan has turned into... never mind. Okay, we have a chance. Get in my sideboard. Probably main deck over Pinion Feast because it kills enchantments. Also doesn't cost 5. It splits up my combat tricks a little bit. So I just need to find one of those Map the Waste on the wheel or the Anak God. And the Sarkhan's no longer a complete and utter dream. I still don't have regrets about taking the bathe. Or don't, I said don't, right? Yeah. I think Volcanic Rush is better in this All Fatties deck than Lose Calm is. It really is just overrun a lot of the time, where it's like the old overrun, like you have X toughness in play, I have X power in play, subtract the two because they have trample, that's lethal, good game. The lovely red, green, blue deck in mostly a 2-color format. Oh, well, that card wheeled anyways. Not cutting any of those. Might cut one of those. I'll have to see. It's actually Dragon Fodder, I think, is my worst 2-drop because it can't attack into 2/2s. I'm probably going to cut one of them. I don't think I need that many. Take another dash creature. It's always fine. This card is marginally better than before because sometimes decks need ways to do that. Block flyers. Still think Mardu Scout is... yeah, I can see matchups where wanting the blocker is better than wanting the 5/4 attacker, so I'll take this as a sideboard option. I'm just going to hate the 2-drop instead of taking a Lava Axe. I will take that. Temur Rune Mark. That was lucky. That actually makes my deck very good. So I have 3 blue sources for Sarkhan, a Vault Breaker to cycle away the Sarkhan or find the blue sources too. Okay, so this is a lot of cards. So let's sort by spells and creatures. I have to play Map the Waste. I think... So I think I want to play... do I need the Return to Earth? I think I have enough large creatures to Epic Confrontation with that. I'm just going to pour this in if I see a Mythic Dragon or a bunch of enchantments. Maybe I should be starting one. And I get to play one of these two. Well, it's realistically I get to play one of these 3. So we're going to put that decision aside for a second. Come on, Magic Online. Let me sort my cards properly. Because, like, it's actually pretty interesting because, like, Return to the Earth is the best card against flyers. This is the best attacking card, and this card kind of does both because I can, like, Death Touch reach a guy up to block, like a random Dramoka. Even though that kind of sucks. don't really want to play Circle of Elders because it's double green. That's a morph. So this right here is 26 cards. Because I'm playing one of these probably. Guess I don't have to. I'm going to cut. So Mastodon has 2, 3, potentially 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures to go with 9. In that case, I think the dash 2/3 is a little worse because again, this is like can get up to 4/3 sizing, which I was talking about. This card is actually pretty important in this format. I'm gonna cut a Sprinting Warbrute. I have enough 5-drops already. I think on those two cards, the pick is between the Volcanic Rush and the Ruthless Instincts. Maybe that's not true. I don't have to be a Mardu Scout deck. I could just have a Mardu Scout in my deck. I think that makes it better. So I think the cut is the second Mardu Scout. Or it could be the Mastodon. I don't know. Dashes is really good, but I'm just really skeptical of a red 2-drop with this mana. And also the X1 is kind of punished. And I'm just like, the reason I was assuming these spells, I don't really want 17 creatures. I'd rather have 7 spells than 16 creatures. I guess these already have trample for the rush. What am I really rushing? This. A Ruth. I think it's actually between the two green cards. I already have a 5-mana trick and don't want too many 5s. Rather have more flexible cards. Don't. Trying to figure out if I'd rather have combat trick or removal here. Probably removal. I think my creatures are big enough as is that one of the like I'm not going to lose on the ground in combat. Like my creatures are all just beefy creatures. The way I'm going to lose is to flyers or larger creatures that I can't beat that this can take out. I didn't see that much white pack too, interestingly. I think a lot of people kind of moved in. So that gives me 9, 8, 3. Perfect. Yeah, this deck is... That was a gift. Well, this is a gift, but that was also a gift. Yeah, I'm excited to play with Planeswalkers.